Hi and welcome to Sales Management System developed using Excel VBA. Let me show you guys how it works. Check that out and you can enter a value in there. Okay, let's keep going. Right there. And now click on total and print out receipts. Click on reset. There we go. You can then repeat exactly the same thing for the next customer. Right. And supposing you mistakenly leave out any of them, just click on receipt. The system still works. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll take you guys straight into Excel VBA development environment and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi and welcome to Excel VBA of how to create sales management system. If you don't have this developer tab, all you need to do is to go to file, click on file and select options. Once this dialog box pops up, go to customize ribbon and right there you should be able to see this developer menu here. Just make sure it's checked and then click on OK. You can now come straight to the developer menu there, click on it and select Visual Basic, or as you can see you can select Alt F11 right here. Now click. Then this development environment opens up. Select Insert, Use a Form. Now we have our form. Select the properties. Right inside the properties, let's go straight to the size. Okay, I'm going to make the height. Let's go for 700 and the width, I'm going to make that 1030. There we go. The next thing I want to do is come in here, make sure we select the form. The properties pops up, or the toolbox pops up. Let's select frame, new frame. Drag a new frame right there. Okay, I have a new frame. Now you see all of these labels, so I'm going to get rid of them because I need it to be a checkbox. So let's get a checkbox there. 1 here, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have all our checkbox in place. The other thing is I'm going to need a frame, so let's grab this very frame. Instead of new frame, there's a frame, there's new frame. Drag that in there. I'm going to close this for the time being. So that is another lesson learned with this new frame. I've never used it before. I'm using it for the first time. So let's come right down here, and I'm going to need a label. I need a label here, so place the label right there. Then I need 4 of these. So let's just copy that across, and we need this as well. Click, copy and drag. There we go. Right, that's fine. And this very one, this very label there, let's change the properties of that very label to women. So where we have caption, I'm going to enter women there. And I also need to increase the size, but first thing first, let's change the border style, or the back color, and now change the font color to something lighter. Let's see, yeah, that's fine. And the font size as well, let's change that to right, maybe 30, 36. I think that might be a little bit too big. Let's make it Okay, and get it centered. So that's for women's outfit there. I'm gonna get it centered now. Let's come in here and get that centered. Right, that is fine. Okay, and right at the top, yeah, that's where I should have the women stuff. We don't have to copy it anyway. Alright, so let's copy all of this and just move it down a little bit. Okay, grab the women, control, click, copy, and change these to men's or kids. And we come to kids outfit. Right, there we go. That is fine. Let's change the back color of this very one to exact color of this, and we come in here to border. Let's see the code for it. That's the code. Let's copy that code, come in here and just paste that code in there. Right, and copy this very one, hold down the control, bring it here. Let's change the caption to sales management system. Right, and change the font size. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm just going to modify the look of the interface, then I'll get back to you guys shortly. Okay, the first part of it is completed, so what I'm going to do now is copy all of this and just paste it out here. That will be for the second part right there, and we end up changing the details we have in here as well. So let's call that jumpers and cardigan. Right, that's jumpers and cardigans. Let's see if we can see the rest. Alright, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Let me just reduce the font size. Let's make that about 18 or 19. Font, let's change that to 19, so it's not so obvious. Right, okay, the next one here, that's going to be jacket, and let's call the jacket and blazer. Jacket and blazers. Okay guys, I guess you get the whole idea, so I'm gonna speed this up now. I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, all that is left for us now is to just change this. Let's enter homeware there, and up here we're going to change that to men's wear, or just men's. That's it. Alright, that's much better. So I'm gonna copy this, or maybe just grab one here. Let's come straight to the tools. Let's see if we have enough room anyway. There seems not to be enough room, but let's make do with what we've got. So grab one of these and just draw it that much. Let's bring it up here somewhere. Maybe copy and paste. Right, I have two of those there. get rid of the content we have in here. Let's get rid of that and select the second one, get rid of that too. Now, okay guys, the next thing I like to do is let me add some buttons here. Let's come underneath here, just add those buttons for now. Just for now, 3 of those. We might probably need more buttons. Okay, let's come. Oh, maybe we should save this file. Let's save it. Okay, save the project, and I'm going to save it as. Let's come right in there. Make sure where you have save type, you select Excel macro enable workbook. Now let's browse to where I intend to save my program. I'm gonna have it somewhere. Right, save it right in there, and I already have a folder for it. There we go, that's my folder. So that's where I'm going to save my work, and I'm going to save it as sales management system, and just click on save there, and that's it. My project is saved, and right inside our very project, let's go back in here, click on this, and right inside the project file here, that's my project file, or that's the name of the file. Right in here I have images. Those images I'm going to be using them. So one thing I have to do is to, let's say I want this very one. They are all in JPG file. Make sure they are all JPG. Okay, right, so let's say I intend to copy that image. I need to know the directory, so right click and select the properties of whatever image you intend to use, and here we have the directories. Let's see if there's any other thing that we can get. Okay, we have the directory of that image here. Just copy it. There we go, and let's copy that very one. You need it, you're gonna need it. All right, but one other thing is I'm also going to need a picture, yeah, an image. Let's just paste that image in there. I want it right in here. So the whole idea is if I select anything that's meant to be shoes that I've just clicked on, let's see, I need boots there. So men's boots right here. Yeah, men's boots. Okay, so let's give that a name. So right in the properties, I'm going to name that as, let's say CHK men's boots. Right, so they will all have a name, and the text that is opposite it, so that one is going to be, this very text will be txt men's boots as well. Right, and here I have my image there. Let's correct that, so just close that right there. Let's get rid of that and move it away from there. Right, I have my image there, so maybe I should call it IMA, or just call it picture, something like that. Picture or image picture. Right, img picture. Right, that's fine. So right here I'm going to double click on this. So what I'll say is img pic dot picture right there equals, we have there is an event called load picture, I believe. Load and open a bracket, so it's going to be this. I believe that is the name of the method. If it doesn't work, we'll try another one. Then slash, the name of the first object image is boots. I think there's an X in there, dot jpg, and I think that will be all. Let's see. I'm going to try that out and see if it works. Okay, so let's run it and just see. Click here and select that. Yeah, it's working. That's fine. I like that. That's good. But we need enough room, so I'm going to repeat the same thing for the rest of the checkbox. Okay, so we need more room here, and we have to make it look much better though. Okay, so just copy that. I'm going to copy that and use it for the others. Now back onto my property here. Right. Okay, this next one, let's double click on that and paste that in there. That's supposed to be formal shirt. Let's see the name of that very image. Formal shirt. There we go. I think that's it. Right click, copy that very image, the name, copy it. You must get it right, else there will be an error. Paste that in there, and let's run that as well. If I click on this, yes, there we go. Oh, that is fine. Okay, what about my logo for the form load? So double click on that, on the form itself. Right, inside the form I need maybe initialize or form activate. Form initialize, let's try that out, and I'm going to paste, copy this and just change that around. I need my logo. Let's get the name of my logo. Icon big, I call that. Copy, come right in here, change that to icon big, and let's run it and see. There we go. My big icon is there, but I need to add more space or reduce the size of the icon. Okay, that's fine. So what we need to do is to speed up the development of this image. Okay, and I'll show you guys the lines of codes. I will also speed up the development of this area. Just move this somewhere and add maybe a text box and so on. So let's do that now, guys. And right here, the same lines of code that has been entered for all of the checkbox. Let me just collapse this or just drag it this way so that you can see it. There we go. Those are the same lines of codes. So if I run the program now, that's what you get. And right here, this is how it all looks now. So all that is left for me to do now is to redesign this very part of it. So let's start by maybe move this one aside or change those buttons around first right here, and let's collapse this sort of right, and maybe move it down a little bit, or maybe just copy it across. Right, let's copy this, just paste it here somewhere, get rid of whatever we have in here. Let's make sure I'm getting rid of the right thing. Yeah, let's move this. Okay, that's fine. Get rid of that. And come right here. Let's add. Okay, let's copy this across again. Copy and paste it here. That's another one there. And one more. And paste that here. Okay, maybe some adjustment. We still have to carry out some adjustment to make it look exactly how we want. And I need a text box first. Let's grab one text box and just bring it down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to speed up the design of the whole interface, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. So let me show you guys how it looks for now. If I run it, this is how it all looks right now, but I need to add some other object here and here. So let's do one thing first. Let's come in here and move this here and just maybe copy all of this. Control C, copy and paste that right here. That is going to be for tags and so on. Let's move that there. Right, I'm going to need a label. One here. And let's increase the font size of that very label. Okay, let's change this very one to, I'm going to change that to tags. Let's come in here. Caption, that'll become tags. And let's hold down the control, copy, and copy one more. Right there. Change that to total. And this is going to be subtotal. And there we go. So let's give all of these a name. That will be txt tags, txt subtotal, and total, and this is txt total right there. So that's it for this part of it. Then the other part that I intend to take care of is here. So let's copy something from here. Hold down the control, click and drag, paste that right there. And maybe I should make some more rooms here. Move this up a little bit. Let's find a way to do that. Okay, let's add some buttons here to complete the design of that interface. So grab a button and let's just something about that, and this one. We'll delete that. We'll copy the one I've just made up. Okay, let's change the properties of these. That will be 7, and let's increase the font size. Make that bold. Let's see if 18 will be nice. Okay, alright. So let's copy it across. Control, click and copy. So what I'll do is I will speed up this design of this interface, this calculator, then I'll get back to you guys shortly. Alright, this is how the interface looks. So let's have a look at it. Yeah, that's how it looks right now. So for the calculator, let's take care of the codes. Right, and that, and let's double click on the form itself. Okay, double click on the form to get to the code view, and right here the first thing I like to do is right underneath option explicit, I'm going to declare the following for the calculator. Dim, let's use lowercase, first number as double. Now repeat the same thing for the second number as well, and so, and there we go. Those are all my variables for the calculator in place. So let's go back into the calculator itself. Double click on number 7 right in here. Number 7 will enter. Before that, let me enter something in here. Let's come right into the text, enter 0 there, and just align it right. Now that's fine. So let's go straight into my code. So for number 7, use an if statement. If does the text box has a name? Let's see if there's a name for this text. There's no name. Okay, let's give the text box a name as well. TXT display. Right. So double click on 7 and use an if statement. So if txt display.text equals 0, then do as follows: txt display.text equals number 7. Alright, let's copy all of these, come down there, paste and paste. There should be an else here, sorry, else, and let's end if here, and if, and this will be plus 7. Right, there we go. That's number 7 taken care of. I'm going to copy that, come right onto 8, paste, change that to 8. So if I run it now, this is what's going to happen. 7 7 7 7 8 8 8 8 8. Okay, I guess you get the whole idea. So let's take care of 9, paste that in there, change this to 9. Back in here we have 4 there, right up here. That's 4 taken care of. 5 up there as well. Come to 6, paste, and change the 7 to 6. 1, change the 7 to 1. 2, paste, and change that to 2. See, the code is very similar, so you shouldn't have any problem. Once you've written one out, you can always copy and just change numbers. There, those are the numeric value. And I think there's one more that will be for 0. So I'm just going to put that in there. So I just change this to 0. Right, there we go. Alright, now let's copy that, and for clear, double click on clear right here and paste that in there. Alright, the numbers get taken care of. Now with the equals, with the plus sign, double click on the plus sign, and right in here let's say first number equals txt display. Okay, so whatever we have in here is that, and let's clear txt display, clear, and the operator that I'm using here, look at it, it's called operators. So let's say the operator equals plus sign. So right in here, paste that in there. The operator equals the plus sign. There we go. So I'm going to copy those 3 lines of codes and repeat the same thing for the subtraction, and just change this to subtraction, multiplication, division, there we go. Now all that is left for us to do is to take care of the equals, this very one here. Double click on the equals, and right there let's enter second number equals display equals that. Copy and paste, and use an if statement. If the operator, this very operator, let's get rid of that because of an error. I'll copy that now. Then take it from there. Now, if operator equals this, then answer equals first number plus second number. There we go. Then txt display dot text equals answer, and if. There, that's all there is to it. So all I'll then do is just to copy and paste. So let's copy this and change it to, and use else if. So it's going to be else if it's subtraction, this becomes subtraction. Copy that, paste. And if it's multiplication, that becomes multiplication. If it's division, that becomes division. And that's the calculator taken care of. Now let's run it and see. 5 times 3 there. Oh, there's an error. So let's see, what did I do wrong? Let's see that variable second. Look at the spelling. There's a spelling error there. Okay, there's a C missing, so let's take care of that. There we go. And try it out again. 2 times 3. There we go. Plus 9. There, that's fine. The calculator is now working. Okay, the next thing we want to do is to declare more variables for all of this. There we go. Those are the lines of code for the variables declared. The next thing I'd like to do is, let's come back in here. You see where I have the total, this variable button here. I'm going to double click on it, and those variables will be initialized. That's it, all initialized. Okay, with the cost of each item. So have a good look at it. And I've also initialized the tax rate that will be paid. Now let's come in here. The next thing I like to do is, you see every single buttons here, or every single object, I would like to disable them. Okay, so if I double click on the form initialize right here, so I'm going to ask it to disable as follows. Let's say txt, I think there's one call. Let's get the name of each component. move this up and grab the name of this very one. Yeah, that's txt genes dot enable equals false. Right, because it's false, so when we run the program, I actually want this to enable it, because it's now, I would like this to enable this. Okay, so what I would then do is double click on that, and right underneath here, let's enter as follows: if, let's copy this, paste it here, if the genes dot, I think is it checked? Like no, it's not checked. Let's see, what does it use? Value. Okay, the value equals true. Then I want the genes itself, that's txt genes dot enable equals true, or equals false, no, true. And I also want the text content in there, dot text equals that, and this dot set focus. Alright, else we want all of these to become false. And if so, here there will be 0 in there, and that's it. So let's say we have a 0 in here, they should all have 0 on the text box anyway. So we'll come to the text box here, text, let's add 0 to them, and there. So let's try out the very first one that I've taken care of, this very one. If I run it, and when I run it and click on that, there we go, and I can just enter a value there straight away. Alright, that's good. So let's take care of one more. So the name of this is jacket, so double click on that, and right underneath here, let's say if that will be chk dot value equals true, then this dot enable equals true, this dot text equals clear, this dot set focus, and else we want this to happen. So else we want all of these to be false. And 0 in here. And one other thing is, let me copy this image, cut it off. So if that is true, we want this to be in here. And I also want an image here, and that is going to be my icon image. So end if there, end if. So, and I think it's called icon big, something like that. Yeah, icon underscore big. Let's see what it's called on the form load. Double click on form load. Right, yeah, that's what it's called on the form load. Copy, come back in here and just get that fixed. right there. I'll do that again. There we go. So we just repeat exactly the same thing. Let's copy this and use that to fix the very first one, and paste this one in here. Get this very one, copy off, paste that in here. Right, so let's try out those two. There we go. Check and uncheck. The same thing. Yeah, that's fine. So what I want to achieve now is, you see, instead of me writing lines of code for them all to be disabled on form load, so what I'm going to do is, let's come right down here, double click on form initialize, and right here I'm going to delete this because that's going to take me forever, and just enter these very lines of codes. Alright, you see, with these single lines of codes here, what will happen is all of these will be disabled. Okay, so from here up to here, and this is not necessary really, so let's take that off. And that's all there is to it. Just these three lines of codes and the variable that was declared here. So maybe let's move that up here. Okay, so if I run it now, that will actually disable all of my text box. Look at that. And the same thing is used for the reset. So let's come in here, let's double click on the reset so that you guys can see what's in there, or what's on the reset. Right here, the same lines of codes has been used for the reset, and the same thing to clear whatever content I have on the, if the checkbox is checked, so that will clear it. So let's run it and you see what I'm talking about. All of these are enabled, but I cannot enter any, I cannot do anything with just these other ones because no lines of codes in there yet. So if I click on reset, there we go. So I believe you guys get the whole idea. Right, so let's continue with our individual lines of codes for these ones. So if I double click on these, there we go. Those are the lines of code that enables the text box and you can enter value in there. Okay, let's just move this aside so that you guys can see it. I'm going to copy it, come right onto the, come right here, double click on the dress, paste that in there for dress, and do come down here, paste that. So that means all of the content in here will become dress. It's going to be painstaking, so there should be another way around that. Just go ahead, change it individually, and repeat the same thing for this. Okay, that's that done. And this one, just gonna copy all of this, cut it all off, delete this very one here, and paste that in there. That is the dress taken care of. Alright, so I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other checkbox and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, let's come right here, double click on that, click, and the same thing will be repeated right up here. Okay, let's copy that, paste, get rid of this, and replace it with that, and change the name to skate. There we go. Right, Now that you guys get the whole idea, I'm just gonna speed that up now. So I'm gonna copy it and speed it up, then I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done. Alright, all of those lines of codes are taken care of. There they are. They are all similar though. So all that is left for me to do now is to finalize the total. Okay, these are for the checkbox. Alright, back in here. Now let's double click on the total itself right in here. The first thing I'm going to do is, if you guys can still remember the array that was declared, so that's going to be items, item 0 equals this very array, this very price here, the jeans, paste that in there, multiply by, so that's going to be txt jeans jargons dot text. There, that's the very first one. And the second one is going to be, let's copy this. Oh, we can just copy all of this. Let's copy and change this to rank and do that. Paste. I have about 16 in total, then I'll change it around. Right, this one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So let's change this one around first. Then is the jackets, copy that and change that. And the text box name, let's see, that's it right there, txt, copy back in there and just change it around there. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for all. Let's just speed that up and get back to you guys shortly. And there we go, guys, there they are. That's 17, 15, 17 in total, 0, 1 to 16. Now I then use array number 17 to add up everything here, and there we go. Alright, so array number 18 to add up 5 to 9, array number 19 to add up 10 to 13, then 20 to add up 14, 15, 16. Let's get rid of this, that's not needed. Alright, now we now need to add up all of these, which we have done here. Okay, alright, then yeah, that is that for now. And here I'm going to now use a different method to work out the tax. So let's get rid of this and we'll sort that out again. So we add all of these together, which I've done here. So let's say items 22 equals item 21 21. We multiply that by tax rate underscore rate, tax underscore rate, and divide that by 100. So that should give me the tax. So this will be for subtotal, that's 22, tax, and so on. And let's say txt tax.text equals item 22, right? And the other one is going to be txt subtotal text equals item 21, because on item 21 we add everything up here, and that is the subtotal. So the total is going to be item 21 plus item 22. So copy that, paste there. So that is that done. Get rid of this. Right, save that. Let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Okay, let's try it out. Select that. Let's enter whatever item we want in there. And in here, I'm just going to select, and I will not enter any value mistakenly. Assume. Right, let's click on total. There we go. You see these ones without value, nothing happens to them. The reason being because I use by value. So let's exit. The exit is not working. Reset works. Reset is not working for this. We need to check that out. Alright, so what we need to then do is come back in here. If you notice, there is no pound sign as well. There's no pound sign, so when we click, nothing. Reset, yeah, that's fine, but not working for these ones. So click on total, come right down here. Just for your information, variables declared. Let's change that. I'm going to change the tax rate to about 32%. No, that might be too much. 22 is okay. And here, this is where the calculation took place. There we go. That's the calculation. But there is no pound sign, so let's add a pound sign to it. There we go. You can do it that way too. Right. That seems to be too much line of codes, but that's alright. Or we can just, okay, let's just copy this, move it here, cover this up, yeah, and get rid of this. Okay, let's see this. Alright, I might as well leave it like this. Now let's run it again and select whatever. Click on that, reset, there we go. So let's take care of those three that are not working. Come right down here, double click on reset, and those three that are not working, come right down here. I'm going to paste that. No, that's the wrong one. Let's copy it down here, copy those three, and just reset them separately. Reset, paste right underneath here, and copy and paste. So those reset are taken care of now. Right, the other thing that is left for me to do now is let's take care of the exit. Come right down here and double click on exit, and right here those are the lines of code for exit taken care of as well. Now finally let's take care of the reset on the reset itself. So I'm gonna have to speed that up because I'm running out of time. Alright guys, the receipt is completed, so let me show you the lines of codes. The first thing I did was to enable that, and I also clear whatever contents we have on the receipt. I've also entered the cost of everything in an array there so that I can use them within the receipt. And right below, so take a good look at it before I move it down, are the lines of code for the receipt. That's the title of the receipt, EWUESA Sales Management System. And from here down here are all the items that we sell. We have tax, subtotal, and total. If you are wondering what is VB tab, that's just a tab. And if you are wondering what is VBCRLF, that's carryover. That's how we use it in Visual VBA, Excel VBA actually. And that's all there is to it. So what I'm going to do now is, let me show it to you again one more time. That is the receipt. Bring it down, the variables that are declared, and there. So I'm going to now run it. Now there we go. And there guys, there. So if I click on total there, and here select receipt, there we go. That's how the receipt looks like. But there's one thing, look at this total. Let's enable the total box. So let's come right in here, copy it, double click on that. I think up here I can always say TXA tax.enable equals true. Right, so repeat the same thing for subtotal and total. TXA subtotal there, and TXA total there. So that should take care of those. So we'll run it one more time. Alright, click on total. There we go guys, and receipt right there. So with that guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.